everyone, welcome to Married with Wrestling. I'm Susan, and this is Chris, and we are here to talk about what's happening with AEW, WWE, and NXT. I guess let's just jump right in. We're actually going to talk about AEW first for once.
We'll start with AEW, because as of recording this video, we haven't seen Grand Slam Collision yet, because it comes out on Sunday, and we don't watch Collision until the following week. Just with scheduling. There's so much wrestling. And it's going to grow even more when SmackDown goes to 3 hours after the first of the year. We might have to look at retirement just for lack of time. But anyway, well, you get kind of a break because Raw's supposed to be like 2 hours for the rest of the time it's on USA at some point. Yeah, we'll start with AEW because they had Grand Slam on Wednesday, which was actually a really fun show.
It was, yeah.
There were some good matches. Bryan Danielson is just making all kinds of enemies on his retirement tour. So he had Jon Moxley murder Darby Allin in the main event of Grand Slam to get Darby Allin's title shot, which kind of sucks for Darby. It kind of makes it pointless that he won that Royal Rampage match, and it kind of makes it feel like the stories aren't really that thought out sometimes. But with that being said, it was a really good match. I love that at 2 points in that match, the crowd was chanting at Moxley about Darby, you can't kill him, which was really great. If that catches on for Darby, that'd be a great little thing for him to ride. That'd make a pretty fun t-shirt, too.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to Bryan Danielson. So Bryan Danielson has all this going on. He has Christian waiting in the wings. He has Jon Moxley trying to suffocate him. And like this little gnat that's buzzing around, you have Nigel McGuinness, just throwing jabs, knowing Danielson's injured, and he's just like, he's afraid of me. And it's like, really? He's like, you're third on the totem pole of importance here, Nigel. Nigel didn't even want the title. He's like, I just want to fight Bryan Danielson. I don't give a damn. So that was big at Theatrical, and that was a fun match, and that's a match I know, from early Ring of Honor days, from, when I remember when people used to pirate it. To watch it kind of things. I remember Nigel's frosted tips. That's what I always remember. Because that dude was 2,000-ing harder than a lot of people 2,000 with those frosted tips. But Danielson did get the win over him. Christian decided he was going to come out. And Christian decided against it. He ran in Pac and Claudio backstage. Yes. Well, Christian couldn't sign his contract because, of all people, Kip Sabian screwed it up by taking his pen.
Well, not of all people. They've had stuff brewing there with him.
They have. Yes. But it's just funny that, so by the end of it, Danielson's just waiting on a challenger. Claudio and Pac are backstage, but they never go out. Moxley's nowhere to be found at this point after Danielson's match with McGuinness. And then you've got Christian just chasing around Kip Sabian to get a pin back so he can just cash in his contract. It's crazy to me. It's the first time that Christian didn't bring reinforcements, and I'm going to guess he doesn't make that mistake again. I would imagine Christian's going to overdo it, and he's going to have his family and security surround him while he signs that contract. If I had to guess. That seems like a very Christian Cage thing to happen.
Yeah.
But anyway, in the main event, Danielson got some measure of revenge against Moxley. Because as Moxley was celebrating beating Darby, Danielson comes out, and I really like what they're doing with Marina Shafir. Because she looks... It works perfectly for her because she's not super solid in the ring.
No.
But she definitely looks like somebody you wouldn't want to mess with.
No, and she's not that great on the microphone either, so it's good for her to just kind of sit there and look scary and attack people.
And I love that she's kind of served as, I don't know what their relationship is, but Moxley, whenever he has to get brutal, he's, she's the one he tells. Whenever he was getting ready to kill Darby, and he just kept looking at her, and he was like, he asked for this. He deserved this. And Marina's just like, yeah, bro, I don't have a problem. Just go do it. Go kill him. I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
So I like that dynamic there. I kind of like... This is the most interesting Wheeler Yuta's been for a while, too, because Wheeler Yuta's, having a crisis of conscience. He's loyal to Danielson.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's got titles he's got to defend with Pac and Claudio. It kind of... Honestly... It made the weird-ass booking of those three taking the trios titles make sense. I have to tip my cap. They found a way for that to make sense. So I'm not mad about it anymore. At least we have taken something and done something logical with it.
Yeah.
That's fine. WWE does that all the time. They took the awkward moment between LA Knight and Andrade last week and made it story this week. Like,
yeah,
do that. That works. So other than Grand Slam, with the Bryan Danielson stuff, we have a new challenger for Mariah May with Willow Nightingale, it seems like. I know you were glad to see Yuka back because you think Yuka's just adorable.
I mean, just listen to her talk. She's so cute.
Yeah. And Mina Shirakawa's back.
Yeah.
And she's conflicted about what to do because Mariah May's like picking her up and celebrating her, and Mina's just like, yeah, what the hell happened to you? So I'm interested to watch that story play out as well. But overall, the tag match with the Bucks and Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher is good. I don't trust the Don Callis family around Will Ospreay, and I don't think he does either. But that match was really, really good. I forget sometimes, I feel like at times AEW pushes Ospreay to almost be too invincible. I know he's lost a couple matches, but how they keep touting he's never lost a Casino Gauntlet, and how him and Kyle Fletcher kind of got in the tag match over established tag teams. But I forget, once he gets between the ropes, Will Ospreay is just so fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yes, for a lot of people, his style is very, stunt show choreographed. I get that. I actually mentioned that when we were watching SmackDown. I talked about how Andrade's little double moonsault is a little more choreographed than I would like. But at the end of the day, whether it's over choreographed or looks like a real fight, there's mad talent all across the board. What they do is not easy. Most of us on this planet could not do what Will Ospreay does. And it's just, sometimes it's just fun to just watch a freaking stunt show. Sometimes it's fun.
Watch a freaking stunt show.
It is. So yeah, I tipped my cap to AEW this week. This week was fun. Oh, and MVP debuted. And you are not happy about that.
I've never cared about MVP.
Mm-hmm.
But I am intrigued if this results in somehow Bobby Lashley coming to AEW. I'm intrigued to see. I didn't care for Bobby Lashley in WWE, but I'm intrigued to see what he'll be like in AEW.
Yeah.
If he'll act the same, or because I feel like Ricochet has a little bit more personality in AEW, so I'm kind of wondering if maybe Bobby Lashley will have some more, because he's always very bland to me. He was just a big guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe he'll have more personality.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
We will see for sure.
I forgot that he wasn't with WWE, honestly. It blew my mind whenever you mentioned it. I can't remember when you mentioned it, but whenever you mentioned that he could show up there, I was like, oh man, I forgot that he wasn't at WWE.
Yeah, because Triple H had no use for him, so he's gone. But yeah, I'm interested. Collision Grand Slam has some fun stuff lined up. I can't think of a time ever, and this is no offense to this performer, I can't think of a time ever that I was hyped for a Jeff Jarrett match. But I gotta tip my cap, AEW. You did it. You did it. I'm very intrigued by this lumberjack strap match that Hangman and Jeff Jarrett are going to have on the Grand Slam Collision. Kudos. You got me excited for a Jeff Jarrett match. That's hard to do. And it's not that I don't like Jeff Jarrett. He's just not my cup of tea usually.
Yeah.
But once again, I got to tip my cap to Jeff Jarrett. He moves in the ring like a guy half his age. It's phenomenal, the shape that he's kept himself in. So, good job, AEW. Hopefully, Grand Slam Collision delivers as well as Dynamite Grand Slam did. Speaking of world champions making enemies, wherever they're going, I think KO has reached his threshold with Cody Rhodes.
I think so.
So, this has been a very slow burn build Triple H style. It's been very will he, won't he with Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting because most people predicted that this was going to be Randy Orton. That was going to be will they, won't they?
I mean, it could still be Randy Orton that ultimately does the turn first.
It could, but I saw something last night that somebody had said, and I'm kind of inclined to agree. It almost feels like Randy Orton's getting to that status where it would be very hard to get people to boo him.
Yeah, but he
because they're singing his song.
He kind of instigated it. On SmackDown, because during the match between him and Owens and Solo, who was it? Solo and
Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, he KO made it be known to Cody that he did not want him to come out.
Mm-hmm.
And then Randy Orton, after KO left, Randy Orton was like, no, dude, please come out, dude. So, like, he kind of instigated it there.
Well, at the end of the match, what got Kevin Owens, because right before they went off air, KO hugged Cody and talked to it because Orton told KO, back off, I told him to come out here.
I know.
Because right before that, Kevin Owens shoved Orton, and I was like, oh,
I
no.
know, but in wrestling, that doesn't mean anything to apologize.
I actually saw some people comment, they're like, Randy Orton knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
Yes.
I think I really hope we get to a day soon that Cody's done with the Bloodline stuff, because I want to see him have a real reign with real enemies that aren't the Bloodline. I want him to fight. Like, his rivalry with AJ Styles was fun.
Roman needs to come back more. Just come back for a few consistent weeks, Roman.
Actually,
so that we can build more to that story.
Actually, WWE released an entire list of dates where fans can go see Roman Reigns.
Okay, is he going to...
He's booked for like 8 or 9 weeks or something.
Through the rest of this year?
I'm not sure how long that goes. I didn't look at the dates. I just saw that it was posted.
I mean, we still have we're just basically getting to October. That's 8 or 9 dates, and you're not even sure if that's going to be only 3 months or longer. That's not giving much hope that this story isn't going to end soon. With Cody getting involved.
Well, I think we're going to end up... Roman will be at Bad Blood. That match is booked. That's the match that's got KO pissed off.
Yeah.
And we've got... He'll be at War Games. I'm sure. It will be Roman and somebody against the Tongans, Solo, and Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
Who that's going to be at this point, who knows? Because a lot of people thought it was going to be the Usos, Roman, and Sammy. Well, Jey Uso, which we'll talk about later, Jey Uso's got other stuff going on. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean he can't do it. He's just got other stuff going on. Cody might be involved at this point, but is Cody going to have his own issues with Kevin Owens to fight? We don't know. Mm-hmm. And it's the one thing I don't like about it is that even when a Bloodline member's not champ, they're holding the world title hostage in their story. Yeah. Because, like, there's so many more options for Cody. Heel Randy, Kevin Owens. He had a fun starting match with Carmelo Hayes when Carmelo Hayes debuted on SmackDown. Yeah. Santos Escobar. That would be... Cody could elevate Santos. Santos just freaking disappeared. Yeah. I haven't seen Santos in weeks. Yeah. So there's more that can be done there than just Bloodline stuff. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm kind of hoping... I know we're going to get back around to Cody and The Rock. I know we're going to get back there. But until then, let Roman deal with this stuff and let Cody have some real defenses and stories with people that aren't Samoan. Yeah. I don't think that's asking too much. I think what you're going to run into is one of these people is going to get the title off of Cody, and Cody's title reign's going to kind of feel like a waste. For as long as it was built up, he only had one major enemy. That's not interesting. What's interesting is, his feud with AJ Styles, where he went a little mental and AJ Styles saw something in Cody's eyes and quit. We never expounded on that. So, like, at the same time, I do think WWE's doing better, but I'm sensing a lot of tropes forming. I'm sensing Triple H's own tropes forming, which is... On a concern scale between 1 and 10, I'm at like a 3, so it's not super, super concerning. But there's room for that 3 to become a 6 or 7 if we keep treadmilling. Like, on Raw, we had a match between Dragon Lee and Carlito. This has been brewing since Mania. I don't think the Judgment Day and the LWO need to fight anymore. I think they could go off and do their separate things. I would even argue that the way that they're booked, it's almost pointless that the LWO is a faction at this point. I hate to say it, but once Carlito left, the drama left with him, and now they're just a very bland group. Mm-hmm. And I like those performers. I grew up watching Rey Mysterio. I always loved Rey Mysterio. Yeah. Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wilder, really, really fun to watch when they get to wrestle. Dragon Lee is really fun to watch when he gets to wrestle.
Yeah.
So I feel like when Carlito left, it kind of nuked that group a little bit.
Yeah.
No, we're getting way off base here.
Yes.
Because this originally started out as a conversation just
I don't even know where we started.
Upset.
Okay.
So yeah, I think the KO turn's going to happen. I think it's going to be... I agree with what somebody posted that Kevin Owens will be fine until Bad Blood. But if Cody keeps associating with Roman Reigns after Bad Blood, like they do he ends up helping out in War Games, that will be what pushes Kevin Owens over the edge and he'll turn on Cody.
Yeah.
I have enjoyed Kevin Owens as a babyface, but he's also a freaking great heel.
Yes, he is.
Kevin Owens is he's one of the most well-rounded wrestlers out there. He's a great face, he's a great heel, he's great in the ring, he's great on the mic. To me, there's not really anything that Kevin Owens cannot do.
Yeah.
He's one of the most complete wrestlers I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And what's great about it, and one of the greatest things for me, is, I'm used to seeing people built like John Cena, built like, Edge with like steel abs in his 50s. Like, I'm used to seeing that. Kevin Owens does all this, and he's built like me. But anyway, KO's going to turn sooner or later. He's a ticking time bomb. Okay, so let's switch back over to a Raw storyline that's going on. I know you don't have interest in this storyline. I'm having a ball with this storyline. It's Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman. And the reason I'm having a ball is until Bronson Reed killed Seth Rollins, I didn't really have any interest in what Bronson Reed was doing. Like, every time he would come out, I would tell you, I'd be like, Bronson Reed's fine, but he's just kind of there.
I like his accent.
Yeah, you like all the guys' accents. And you've got Braun Strowman, who I have always said that Braun Strowman's best stuff was when he was pretty much a cartoon character chasing around Roman Reigns. Yeah. What did we do? We made Bronson Reed interesting by having him kill Seth Rollins and R-Truth, which is a really funny kill list because those two are complete opposites. And what's funny is you would think he would have started with R-Truth and build up to Seth Rollins. No, Seth Rollins was the first casualty. R-Truth came later. R-Truth was the sequel.
R-Truth is beloved by everybody, though.
He is. And so is Rollins at this point, I feel like. Not to the level that Truth is, probably, but still. And Braun Strowman is just out destroying stuff. They've literally done splashes on cars. They've thrown each other through walls, through displays on the stage. I'm getting interesting Bronson Reed and 2017 Braun Strowman, and I'm so damn giddy about it. Like, they're having a match this Monday on Raw. We don't normally watch live, but we're going to be off next weekend because we're going to be in Massachusetts. So we're probably going to miss some wrestling. I'm going to go watch this match that they're having. They're having a Last Monster Standing match, which sounds really stupid, but really fun at the same time. And I love the theatrics behind it. The promo for it, like normally Raw's promos are like, Jey Uso has done this. Braun Breaker's looking to stop him. What will happen? Watch Monday Night Raw. No. For Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman, they're in cities like Godzilla and Kong. Buildings are smashing. Their faces turn into monster faces as they roar at the camera. And it all goes, it's like a movie trailer. It's like a movie trailer for a really sick Godzilla movie. And for a Raw weekly TV promo, it goes really hard. Like, if you haven't checked out the promo, it's a little package of fun.
I thought it was funny.
Like, it is. It's funny, but not
life-changing.
I
thought it was hilarious.
No, it is hilarious, but not in a, oh, that's stupid kind of way. No, it's like, it's legit, like, this is going to be, well, I guess it is kind of stupid in a way. But it's like, I can't wait. Like, I really hope these two deliver. And the last time these two did something extreme, Bronson Reed splashed Braun Strowman on a car, the car caved in, and the rearview mirror sparked. Like, that happened last time these two got together. That was a random occurrence. And not to mention, Bronson Reed jumped off of, like, a ledge of an upper parking lot to do this. So, to say that I'm excited for this match and giddy for this match is an understatement. I'm going to seek this son of a bitch out and watch it because I cannot wait to see what. I hope we get a ring collapse. I hope all the things. I hope there's. I hope there's. Like I'm
can't
hoping
even
for.
function. You're so excited.
Do you remember when Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley were feuding, and Braun Strowman like tackled Bobby Lashley through the screens, and there was like explosions that went off?
Yeah.
I want that stuff. I want this to be as silly and over the top as possible, and I just want to pop some popcorn, even though I'm not supposed to eat it. And I just want to watch it, and I just want to have a freaking ball. Like I just want to sit there and just the whole time be like this. That's what I want. I want that. I want this Bronson Reed Braun Strowman match in my life more than ever, and it's been a long time since I've been this excited for something, especially with these two fools. So let's see what we got. Like the promo speaks for itself. It's a freaking Godzilla movie promo. Like, let's go. Let's do this. And I cannot fathom how you're not excited for the carnage.
I just don't. I'm not a meaty wrestler lover.
This is more than meat. This is the promo. They're destroying cities, bro.
I thought it was kind of. I didn't think it was funny, like, haha. I thought it was funny, like, oh my god.
I know, that's when wrestling's
like,
the best. Like,
yeah.
as Simon Miller says, goofy wrestling for life, man.
I like goofy wrestling. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I'm ready for whatever they have planned. I'm ready, and I will be excited. And I really hope they don't let me down. But I think, especially if this match main event's Raw, I think it's going to get crazy. And I'm so here for it. Just, where is it? It's not in Nashville. It's in Evansville, Indiana. Just tear the city down. I don't care. I don't even care. Just tear the whole city down. I don't care. But yeah, super, super fun. For me, this has been really built in a really fun way. I've had a lot of fun with these two. I don't know that anything they do after this is going to be nearly as fun, but I'm having fun right now. Okay, so while I come down from the fun of Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman's feud, let's switch back over to SmackDown, where we're having a feud that's more wrestling based that has also been really fun, and that's the series of matches between Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. They're clearly doing a best of 7 series. The winner's going to get LA Knight. There's going to be a triple threat with LA Knight. Something's going to happen with these two in LA Knight, because I've seen a lot of people say that LA Knight feels like the third wheel in this feud, and I don't think that's the case at all. I feel like LA Knight's the prize at the end of the feud.
Yeah, I agree.
Because he's got a title. If he didn't have a title, that'd be one thing.
Yeah.
But these two...
Well, I guess last night, maybe I do agree with them, because after Carmelo and Andrade had their fight, and then LA Knight got involved, I know you're going to go into that in a minute, I literally was wondering, like... Because I forgot, I was just kind of like, how does LA Knight tie into this? So, I mean, maybe I do agree with them, because right in that moment, I remember having that thought. So, but now after I can think about it, it does make sense. But
yeah.
In that time, I was like, okay, I can agree with that.
Well, to be fair, LA Knight's involvement last night was because Carmelo Hayes just showed up on screen and just hit LA Knight, and then LA Knight didn't. There was a thing there, like that he could have rolled over. I don't think he rolled over. I think Carmelo Hayes hit him and he just evaporated. Like, he was gone.
He flew.
He did. And then I love, because Melo looks Andrade right in the eye.
I didn't realize Carmelo Hayes hit him. I thought he shoved him.
No, he
I thought he just ran up and shoved him really hard.
No, he just clocked him.
Oh.
And then Andrade's just like standing there.
That's why I thought he went flying so far.
Yeah. No, he just dropped out of frame. And it was just so funny because Carmelo on the mic at NXT was good. It seems like he's kind of stumbled a little bit on the main roster. Maybe that's because they keep putting him up against LA Knight.
He's been up against LA Knight, KO, Kevin Owens he's been up against.
But I do love that after he clocked LA Knight and Andrade's just standing there dumbfounded, because he's literally half a second ago, Andrade's having a full-on conversation with LA Knight. And after Carmelo whacks LA Knight, he looks right at Andrade and he goes, "I got something for you too," and just goes to the ring. I was like, all right,
that's
more of
basically
that.
what Andrade said. He was like, okay, and then put on his mask.
He's like, as people commented online, I'm going to put on my mask just to take it off in 30 seconds. Like,
but it was cool because I got to see how he put his mask on, because there's that little thing that goes around, because I always wondered how he got it around his hair. And I figured out there's a little special thing for it.
Oh, okay. Well, now you know.
Now I know.
The more you know.
Yes.
But yeah, these two have had 6 matches at this point, which sounds like it would get repetitive. But every match has been really good, and they've been really creative with the finishes. They've done a really good job of making it feel like 6 distinct matches. And there's an art to the 7 match series in wrestling. This one's been done really well, and the one that they did before in AEW with the Lucha... No. Yeah, it was the Lucha Brothers and Pac against the Elite. That was a really, really well done best of 7. And what's interesting is the 6-man feud, they kept adding stipulations to the matches. We haven't had a stipulation once in a Carmelo Hayes Andrade match. They've all just been straightforward.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people say that the 7th match should be a 2 out of 3 falls or an Iron Man match. I think both of those are warranted.
Yeah.
I think a 30-minute Iron Man match, just give those two the last half hour of SmackDown to just go out and show out. Yeah, go for it.
Because it's getting them both over. Like, Carmelo's getting the boos. Andrade, whenever he first came back, he didn't get that many cheers, but now he gets cheers. And
it's done a really good job of getting both of those guys noticed. Yeah. They've absolutely killed it with the time that they've gotten. And every match goes through at least 1 or 2 commercial breaks. Like, every match has been, I want to say, right around 15 to 20 minutes. Every single one. And they've all been really, really fun because those are just 2 dudes that can just put them between the ropes and they could go all day. So this has been really, really fun. It's a really fun contrast to the Bronson Reed, Braun Strowman one, because it's like, if you look at it in a movie sense, Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman is like a big, dumb action movie, like a 90s action movie. Carmelo Hayes and Andrade, it's more about the way the movie's shot and how the action's done in it. So the 2 contrasts are really good, and they've been 2 really good feuds. And I worry the same thing for Andrade and Carmelo that I do for the other 2, that I don't know how they move them on to something more interesting after this. But just like with the other 2 behemoths on the other show, I will enjoy it while I have it and hope that LA Knight keeps his title at the end, because I'm not ready for him to drop that yet. But yeah, good stuff from Andrade and Carmelo. I tip my cap to those dudes to put on a different match every time without having a stipulation. It's very, very good wrestling. Very, very good wrestling. Alright, so earlier when we were talking about the Bloodline stuff, we mentioned that Jey Uso has more to do. He may not have time for Bloodline stuff, and that's because Jey Uso is now the Intercontinental Champion. So he had a match with Braun Breaker on Raw, which was a really, really good match. I'm not surprised.
You were so pumped for that match. You were pumped that Braun Breaker lost. Or sad, I mean.
I was sad that Braun Breaker lost. I wasn't ready for Braun Breaker to drop a title yet. If this is his fast track to Gunther, I'll be a little more okay with it. But I don't want Gunther to lose either. Like, Braun Breaker and Gunther is going to be a great match, but it's going to be a lose-lose for me because I love both those dudes so much. And I get so much joy out of watching them. And kudos to Gunther. Gunther is just having fun being such a prick here lately to Sami Zayn. It's been really fun to watch. And you can tell, like, he can hardly contain his giddiness about being a prick to Sami. Like, he's just all smiles. Like, I feel like sometimes he's barely making it through his promos. Like, when he told Bret Hart Bill Goldberg was his favorite wrestler, I was like, pack it in, we're done. We're done. Gunther found the biggest thing he could say and the soundbite that will follow him forever. Which was really fantastic. And I love the way that Bret Hart sold it, because Bret Hart didn't, like, get overly mad or anything. Bret Hart was just like, really?
Touché.
Really?
Touche. I feel like that's who's just kind of like, touche.
Yeah, he's like, all right. And meanwhile, Sami Zayn's like blowing up about it, and Bret Hart's just like, I'm not surprised. But anyway, back to Jey Uso. It was a really, really good match. It was phenomenally good. Especially for like a Raw main event. Like, it felt like a pay-per-view match. Mm-hmm. Which I do kind of like that the mid-card titles have been used to main event weekly TV. I think it has raised their status and made them feel important. I do like that we've done that. I had listed down here to talk about the tag titles, and I'll just sum it up in one sentence. Ever since the Judgment Day and the Bloodline got the tag titles, it feels like we've done dick all with them.
Yeah.
And I think that's a shame. Because there's some really good tag teams in WWE that, you could do these things with. I mentioned earlier, Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro. They could, if you're going to do the LWO and the Judgment Day for the 50th time, you could at least have those two fight for the tag titles, because JD and Finn against those two, that'd be really fun. That'd be a super fun match.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Jey Uso.
Yes.
Jey Uso has really... He's got to be top 3 most over people right now. Like, whenever Jey Uso enters into the arena, it's like a goddamn party.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's throwing their arms up. It's loud. The cam shakes. Joe Testator's grabbing signs and eating. Michael Cole was doing it. Pat McAfee was doing it. Like, I gotta give Jey Uso credit. Jey Uso has presence when he walks into that building.
He does.
He really... The Bloodline story, Jey Uso might have been one of the biggest beneficiaries of it. Because he got so over in the course of that story. Yeah. And kudos to him. He's been able to keep that momentum and carry it. He hasn't been around a Bloodline member since Mania. Like, he's done really, really well. And I think I've said this already in the video. AJ makes fun of me when I use the phrase multiple times, but I tip my cap to Jey Uso for being able to keep that going. That being said, I'm still disappointed that Braun Breaker lost the title. I do think there's something to it. The commentaries seem to keep mentioning how arrogant Braun Breaker was in the match. So maybe they're telling a story that Braun Breaker is going to settle down and get more serious. Braun Breaker, somebody else that's getting over. It's getting to a point now where he asks about the dogs barking and the whole arena just barks.
Yes. Yeah.
He's gotten very over. And I told you when he first got called up. I told you when he first got called up, I said, they put him in the ring and let him do his thing. He'll be over in no time.
You did, yes.
And
you told me.
I did. And he is. And I still love his spear. And honestly, I like Jey Uso, don't get me wrong. But it's really insulting that I have to watch Jey Uso do a spear in a match with Braun Breaker when Braun Breaker's right there.
Yeah.
Like...
It was kind of like his first... The spear... Remember the spear that I saw him do? And I was like, what was that? Mm-hmm. I didn't know it was supposed to be a spear.
The one he did on the outside where he speared Braun Breaker into the barricade, that would look good.
It looked good, yes. But the one he did in the ring, I was just... The first one he did in the ring, I was just kind of like, what was that?
Jey Uso, I understand that his whole taking the spear is like his like one over on the tribal chief kind of deal, but I just don't think Jey Spear's very good. I'm sorry. I like Jey Uso. There's a lot of things he does well. The spear is not particularly one of them, especially when the guy on the other side of the ring from him has the best spear I've ever seen. Right up there with Goldberg. I'm not kidding. Especially when he hits the... I think the best person I've ever seen take a Braun Breaker spear to this day and made it look like death, and I think it was the person that made me fall in love with the Braun Breaker spear, is Carmelo Hayes.
I knew you were going to say that.
The way Carmelo Hayes' body snapped, like his soul left his body and flew, especially when Braun Breaker speared him into the ether during their NXT match, and they just went through a black wall, and they both just disappeared into this black hole. That's... Every time I think of Braun Breaker's spear, I think of Carmelo Hayes taking it, and that's what makes me think, oh, that's a great spear. And I think that's just as much of a credit to Carmelo Hayes as it is to Braun Breaker. Mm-hmm. That being said, Jey Uso's going to keep doing the spear. It's going to keep being his setup to his Uso splash. I understand that, but, man, I'm just not a fan of the spear from him. Especially when Braun's right there. Yeah. But I think Jey will do good things with the IC title. I don't know that he'll have it long. He might hot potato it back to Braun Breaker. I think there's a lot more interesting things to do with Braun Breaker. But at the same time, I do understand that Raw is, it's hard to have two babyface champions and two heel champions at the same time on the same show.
Yeah.
Because you need a bad guy to have one title for the good guys to chase, and a good guy to have a title for the bad guys to chase. You got to have that balance. SmackDown has Cody and LA Knight. I don't really put them in the same category though, because Cody's kind of has his bloodline to deal with, so that sets his feud for a while. Mm-hmm. But LA Knight doesn't really have many heels to fight.
Yeah.
And there's even less for Cody. That being said, AJ Styles comes back next week. So I'm interested to see what we do with AJ Styles, because the last time we saw AJ Styles, Cody was coming at him with some steps, and AJ Styles was like, Jesus, Cody, I quit. Don't. And then AJ Styles got murdered anyway. So we'll see what happens with AJ Styles. But I'm excited for him to come back. I feel like AJ Styles is going to be Bryan Danielson it very shortly, where he's going to kind of have his own retirement tour. And I've seen a lot of people say that while WWE is doing this partnership with TNA, like, it should be law that AJ Styles appears on the TNA show.
Absolutely,
like,
yeah.
I'm going to agree with that as well.
Yeah.
I would love to see him make an appearance over there. I think it'd be great for TNA. I bet AJ Styles would love to do it.
Yeah.
You know, it could be fun. Like, WWE could work a deal out where, hey, let us have Joe Hendry for a month or two, and you can have AJ Styles for a month or two. I think it would be beneficial for both parties.
And I mean, no disrespect, because I know a lot of people like AJ Styles.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch him in his heyday.
Mm-hmm.
But I love Joe Hendry right now, and I'm indifferent to AJ Styles right now, so I would gladly take Joe Hendry for a couple months.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with what's coming. But speaking of Joe Hendry, NXT's got something big coming up next week. Okay, so NXT starts their tenure with the CW next week. Man, we're going to miss a lot of stuff with our trip.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be gone while we're going to be in the airport while Bad Blood's on.
I mean, no offense.
Or no, we won't. Bad Blood Saturday.
Listen, I mean, no offense to wrestling. I love wrestling, but this is like a bucket list trip of mine, so I will gladly miss a lot of wrestling on my bucket list trip.
I know. I'll be able to catch up. But anyway, NXT is starting on the CW. Their first two shows, they have their first one in Chicago, which is Tuesday, and then they have one in St. Louis the week after. The Chicago shows what they're building the most for. There's a couple things for the St. Louis one. There's the tag matches going on between A-Town Down Under is that the Chicago show? No, that's the St. Louis show. That's happening. But let's focus on the Chicago show. So, Ethan Page is defending against Trick Williams with CM Punk as special guest referee. Really cool for Ethan Page. Ethan Page was wrestling on Ring of Honor like 4 months ago. And now CM Punk is reffing his championship match in NXT. Ethan Page has one of the fastest rises in NXT I've seen.
Good for him, because he's such a good dude, though.
He is. And he has a lot of experience. Like, I saw an interview with him the other day where he said he's been in the business for 16, 17 years.
Yeah.
Which is crazy long. Because he's not that old. He's younger than us. And he's been in the business that long. I don't think Ethan Page is going to survive Trick Williams in Chicago. I think Trick Williams is going to take that title back. I wonder what we're going to do with Ethan Page after that. Because Ethan Page is starting to get a lot of fan reaction. They definitely see something in him. He has, like, a special nameplate. Like, they made a big production out of Ethan Page. They clearly see something in him. So I'm wondering what he does after the Trick Williams stuff. Also, we've got Roxanne and Julia that are going to fight for the women's title. Mm-hmm. That match should be really good. I don't know if Roxanne's going to win or not. I don't think both titles change hands, but I wouldn't be surprised if both titles change hands, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The one title that I do want to see change hands, no offense, is Kalani Jordan's title. But I don't even think she's defending it in Chicago. She might be defending it in St. Louis at some point. But she's got something kind of going on with Wendy Chu and Rosemary, which has been... I like Wendy Chu and Rosemary together.
I just like Rosemary. Rosemary is so freaking nice and like in person.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not remember how nice she is?
Yeah, I remember.
Oh.
I remember.
So, I don't know. Whenever I meet somebody and if they stand out because they're super nice, I root for them after.
Yeah.
Like, Roosh cracked me up at a show, whenever we were at a show once.
Mm-hmm.
And just because of how cool he was with the fans, I don't know, I have a soft spot for Roosh now.
Yeah. I've seen quite a few posts about people like Ethan Page that they say,
Yes.
they'll literally comment, they say, I don't really see anything that special in Ethan Page, but I hope he succeeds because I've met him and he's a nice person.
Yes, he's so
Like,
friendly.
He
makes you feel like you've known him for 20 years.
Pretty much.
Like, would you not, like, the first time you met him, he was just like...
He's very personable.
He is, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now, he's not FTR personable asking our names.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody else did that, but I can't remember who.
Mm-hmm.
On the cruise. Ricky
Starks,
Starks,
yeah.
There's only been 2 wrestlers, and we've met quite a lot of wrestlers. Only 2 wrestlers have ever asked for a name, so I feel like that's like the nicest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not that level, but
yeah. I mean, to be fair, that was at Toyhio where like there's lines out the door.
And he actually knew you.
Mm.
So,
but anyway,
because
so-
your beard.
yeah. So the Chicago show is shaping up to be pretty fun. Kudos to NXT. They're not throwing a bunch of main roster talent at it. They're having Punk appear, but it makes sense because it's Chicago. And AEW even knew that. If you're going to Chicago, you take CM Punk. That's just kind of what you do. He's just kind of like when you're going to Chicago and wrestling companies do their inventory. Like, okay, we got the barricades, we got the ring, we got CM Punk, we got they throw him in the truck with all the equipment and he goes, and he takes his dog with him. So yeah, I'm excited for that show. Dynamite has Title Tuesday coming up the week after the 5-year special. So the 5-year special is this Wednesday, which we would be at if we weren't taking a trip. But that's fine. Peterson Event Center is kind of a pain in the butt to deal with anyway.
I feel like you're missing so much this week.
It's okay. It's fine. I'm excited for the trip. Like I said, I'll catch back up on most of this stuff. The Braun Breaker Bronson Reed match, I might just stay up and watch it Monday. I don't know. When Dynamite does Title Tuesday, that's when they'll throw the main roster shows at NXT because it's going head-to-head with Dynamite. That's when we'll see more main roster people. No, wait. Oh, that's the St. Louis show. They've got Randy Orton on there, but Randy Orton's from St. Louis. That would make sense. And they do have A-Town Down Under competing on there. Okay, so main roster's starting to filter in, and there's a St. Louis show. I see what you're doing, NXT. I see what you're doing. I hope NXT on the... I hope CW... Or that.
What is happening right now?
I hope NXT on the CW is good. You and I champion NXT every week.
I actually... Out of the WWE shows, I would say NXT is probably my favorite.
Yeah, man. SmackDown's the weak one, but they're all pretty good at this point.
I don't even say SmackDown's weak.
No, it's not.
Honestly,
it's just the
in my
weakest of the three.
opinion, my least favorite, and it's so... Which, this is going to suck. It's because it's a 3-hour show. It's Raw.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so upset. I am so upset that at some point Raw and SmackDown are both going to be 3 hours, but it's okay. I guess I can deal with it, but...
You'll survive.
But...
You'll survive. Just wait till Dynamite goes to 3 hours.
Is that going to 3 hours?
I don't know. Remember, the AEW's pitching 3 shows again. Rampage will go away, but we haven't watched Rampage in months.
Yeah.
We kind of stopped Rampage because it didn't really seem like anything of consequence happened.
Yeah.
Which is really sad to say because, I'm sure it's had some good matches and some
that's-
wrestlers that we've been like, where are they at? They're probably hiding out on Rampage. But
Yeah. We got off topic again, though.
Yeah.
So I don't even remember what we were talking about again. Oh, NXT.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's kind of on top. AEW's kind of NXT's closest competitor because AEW can't pull the numbers that main roster does anymore.
Yeah.
Ever since, I mean, I know you hate to say this, but ever since Punk left, the numbers have been down.
Yeah. I might hate the man, but I'm not going to say that he wasn't good for business.
Mm-hmm.
I hate him, but I'm not irrational like some people with wrestling.
Yeah. I am excited for him and McIntyre's Hell in a Cell match. I think that match is going to go hard.
I'm excited for the
I think we're going to see some
I'm
color.
excited to see what McIntyre's going to do to Punk.
Yeah. I think we're going to get blood in that match. I think we're going to get blood. It's the first Triple H Hell in a Cell.
It's a lot of faith giving it to Punk, who, I mean, he gets hurt often anymore. But, I mean,
I mean,
but he always finishes it though when he gets hurt. So
you gotta give that. He does finish the match.
So at least he does that.
He's probably in an ungodly amount of pain, but he's finished.
He finishes it. So a lot of wrestlers don't typically just stop matches unless it's bad.
No, they are hardwired to finish the match.
That's why I couldn't be a wrestler. I'm a wussy. You are worse than me.
Mm-hmm.
No, one of our cat's back claws just barely grazes you and you're in panic mode.
It hurts. It's right on my thigh. That's sensitive skin. That's sensitive skin. No, I could never be a wrestler. No way. No way. That's why I try not to critique, because I don't think it's... how do I word this? I think it's really hard to critique something that you yourself know you can't do.
Yeah.
So it's not really my place to tell these dudes how to do their job because I couldn't do their job. Now, if I critique somebody that's doing something I know I could do better, yeah, I'm going to critique the hell out of them because I know I could do it better. Wrestling's one of those things, I could never do it. I don't have the pain threshold for it. I don't have the athleticism for it. No way. I would get in the ring, I would sprain my ankle, run in the ropes, and I'd shit my pants. That would be my experience as a wrestler. And that would be... No, not for me. Not for me. I'll watch these dudes do it all day. I'll watch them do different styles. I'll watch them kill each other. I'll watch shit explode, cars collapse, rings fall apart. You know, Brock Lesnar taking a tractor and upending a ring and watching Roman tumble out. You know, I'll watch that all day long. But I'm not going to get in there and do it.
Yeah.
Although, it is kind of on my bucket list item to just stand in a wrestling ring just to see what it's like. I think it would be cool.
You could have done it on the cruise.
I'd have had to wait for like 3 hours. Like, I'm...
Just saying, you can do it on the cruise.
I know. But anyway, that's going to do it for our show this week. So as I said earlier, we won't be here next week because we'll be in Salem. But we'll pick it back up the week after we'll pick it back up. And then we'll be off another week because we're going to see family. So our schedule's been kind of sporadic here. But we'll update we'll post when we can. The nice thing is wrestling is so consistent at this point that, you know, if we miss 1 week, we don't really miss much unless it's like a PLE or a pay-per-view.
I feel like you think you're missing a lot this week.
This week, I do feel like I'm missing out on some things. I won't lie, I do feel that way.
Yeah.
Just like I said with the Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed match, normally we watch Collision later. I'm probably going to watch Collision tonight because I want to see this Lumberjack strap match. So I'm going to at least watch that match on Collision probably tonight. Because I don't know if I'll get a chance to watch it before we leave on the trip.
Yeah.
But yeah, find us on the socials at Facebook at Married with Wrestling. If you're on this page and you're still here in the video, just like, subscribe, comment. It does help the channel. Share the video. Share your wrestling opinions. You know, everybody in the world has an opinion. Feel free to share it here. Just don't be a dick to others about their opinions if you do. You know, go out and enjoy wrestling. There's some good stuff coming up with NXT Changing Networks. Bad Blood's on Saturday. Wrestle Dream is the week after. The Bryan Danielson retirement tour continues through there. So we'll see if Jon Moxley puts that career to bed. But otherwise, you know, find what you like, and we'll see you next time.
Later.